Have you ever wondered how websites are built? Today you'll discover the mystery behind it. It's not magic, but it might as well be. It's something called HTML. HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. It's a bit of a mouthful, but don't worry. It's not as complicated as it sounds. Think of HTML as the skeleton of a website. It provides structure, just like bones do for our bodies. HTML tells your web browser what content to display and how to display it. Whether it's a paragraph of text, an image, or even a video, HTML is the language that makes it happen. And the best part? It's the global standard for creating websites. That means, no matter where you are in the world, if you're building a website, you're probably using HTML. Ready to dive into the fascinating world of HTML? Let's get started. Scene script. HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. But what does that mean? Let's break it down. Hypertext refers to the way in which web pages are linked together. It's the magic that allows you to click a link on one page and be transported to another. It's like a giant web of interconnected documents that span across the globe, hence the name World Wide Web. Now, the word markup comes from the act of marking up a text, similar to how you might highlight or underline a book. In HTML, we use tags to mark up text. These tags tell the web browser how to structure and display the content. Last but not least, language. This is the part that makes HTML a coding language. While it may not have complex functions or algorithms like Python or Java, HTML is a language because it has a defined syntax and rules that must be followed for the browser to understand it. So put it all together, and you have Hypertext Markup Language, a system for marking up text so that a web browser can display it correctly. Now, let's talk about tags. HTML uses tags to structure and format web content. Think of tags as the skeleton of a web page, providing structure and shape. Each tag indicates a different part of the web page, such as headings, paragraphs, images, and links. For example, to create a heading, we use the H1 tag. If we want to create a paragraph, we use the P tag, and so on. Each tag has a specific purpose and helps to structure the content on the page. Remember, tags are like the building blocks of a web page. They help to structure and format the content, making it easier for both the browser and the user to understand. Now that you know what HTML is, it's time to learn how to write it. Writing HTML might seem intimidating at first, but don't worry, it's simpler than you think. Let's dive right in and create our first HTML document. No need for special software. A simple text editor is all you need. First, let's declare our doc type. This tells the browser we'll be using HTML. It's a simple line right at the top of your document, and it looks like this. This is the technical handshake to say, "Hey browser, we're speaking HTML here." Next comes the HTML tag, which encapsulates the entirety of our HTML document. Think of it like the outer shell of a walnut, containing everything inside. It's a pair of tags, an opening and a closing. Everything we write will live within these tags. Now, let's add the head tag. The head tag is like the brain of our HTML document. It doesn't contain any content visible to the user, but holds important information like the title of our web page and links to any CSS files we might use to style our page. It's another pair of tags, starting with and ending with. Inside the head tag, we'll add a title tag. This is what shows up on the browser tab. It goes like this: your title here. Replace your title here with the title of your web page. Last but not least, we have the body tag. This is where all the visible content goes, everything from text to images to links. It's the heart of your web page. It starts with and ends with. Let's have a quick recap. We start with the doc type, then the HTML tag. Inside that, we have the head tag where we put the title tag, and the body tag where all our content will go. And there you have it, your first HTML document. But what does each part mean? Every HTML document has a specific structure. Let's break it down. Imagine an HTML document as a well-organized book. The doc type declaration is the cover of the book, letting you know what you're about to read. It's a preamble that informs the browser about the version of HTML the page is written in. Today we typically use the HTML5 doc type, written as. Next we move on to the HTML tag. This is like the book's hardback cover, encompassing everything within. It's the root of an HTML document and typically includes language attributes, helping the browser understand the language of the content. Then we have the head tag. Think of it as the book's title and table of contents. It doesn't directly display content on the web page, rather it provides important information to the browser and search engines. It's where we declare the character set, add the title of the page, link to CSS files, and include meta information about the document. Now we come to the body tag, the heart of the HTML document. This is where all the visible content goes, like the chapters of our book. It can include text, images, videos, links, forms, and other HTML elements. What you see on the web page is essentially what's inside the body tag. But remember, the body isn't just a chaotic dumping ground of content. It's structured using various HTML elements like headings, paragraphs, lists, and dividers. These elements help to format the content, making it readable and accessible. Much like a well-structured book, a well-structured HTML document is easier to read, not just for us humans, but also for the browsers and search engines that crawl our web pages. It's also a key to building accessible websites, ensuring that everyone, regardless of their abilities, can access and understand our content. Now that you understand the basic structure of an HTML document, let's add some content. Scene script. HTML isn't just about structure, it's also about content. Let's learn how to add some. Diving straight in, let's start with text. You can add text to your HTML document using paragraph tags. These are written as for the opening tag and for the closing tag. Anything you place between these tags will be considered a paragraph in your HTML document. For example, if you want to add the sentence, "Hello world," you'd put it between a pair of paragraph tags like this, "Hello world." This will display the sentence as a standalone paragraph on your web page. But what if you want to make a heading or a title? That's where heading tags come in. There are 6 levels of heading tags in HTML, ranging from 2 is the largest and most important and is the smallest. So if you want to create a title for your web page, you might use the tag like this, "My first web page." Now let's talk about adding links and images to your web page. To add a link, you'll use the anchor tag, written as, but you'll also need to use the href attribute to specify the web address you want to link to. For instance, if you want to link to Google, you'd write it like this, would display the image stored in the file, image.jpg quote. You can also add alt attribute for an alternative text description of the image, which is good for accessibility. And there you have it. You've just learned how to add text, headings, links, and images to an HTML document, making it richer and more engaging. Congratulations! You've just created your first web page using HTML. You've learned a lot today, so let's take a moment to recap. We've peeled back the curtain on the magic behind websites, revealing HTML as the standard markup language that brings web pages to life. We've explored the ABCs of HTML, understanding its role as the skeleton of a web page, giving structure and format to the content. We've taken our first steps in writing HTML code, an empowering journey that begins with a simple "Hello World." We've dissected an HTML document, examining its head, body, and the elements within, each serving a unique purpose in the grand design. Lastly, we've dived into adding content with HTML, images, links, multimedia elements, and more, each an integral part of the rich tapestry that makes up a web page. And that's a wrap! You're well on your way to becoming an HTML master. Keep practicing, and you'll be building your own websites in no time.